God. What's up? I didn't fall that time, but I know why now. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be powder coating the valve cover and also starting up the Honda for the first time since we've had the car, well, rebuilt technically. We didn't rebuild everything. We put new bearings in and everything like that. I was going to make a full video from the build all the way till now, but it's not. It's a stock build. It's just a daily driver for the customer. They only want it to, you know, just enjoy the car. If it was like a full-on kind of race car build, there's a lot more math and science and whatnot involved. So for that, if I ever get a project like that, we'll definitely do a full build video. But the only thing I wanted to show you guys was how to use a plastic gauge for those that probably don't know how a plastic gauge works. And instead I just made that like a short. I put it on my shorts and on my TikTok, so if you follow me on here or there, you probably have seen it. Now it's getting pretty late. I do have work tomorrow, so tonight you'll see me all dirty and in this outfit and everything like that right now, but in the next clip or in the next couple clips it'll be different. But that's because I'm just gonna get this prepped tonight. It's gonna sit here, and then tomorrow I'm gonna actually powder coat it and get it ready, because tomorrow there's a couple more parts I'm waiting on. It'll be here tomorrow, so hopefully tomorrow after work I can knock the rest of this out and get it fired up, make sure it runs well and everything like that, and then get all the invoicing and everything like that written up and ready to go. So with that being said, the reason why I'm doing this right now too is because after putting the motor, building the motor, everything back together and dropping it in the car and everything like that, everything spins by hand flawlessly. I mean, there's honestly no reason why that thing shouldn't run very well. So I'm confident in that, and that's why we're just going to go ahead and pretty much two birds and one stone kind of analogy, if you will. And so real quick, as you can see, I have some things blocked off. It's not fully down, but it'll be all right. The important thing is we want to make sure this gets super cleaned, which we will clean probably after, because I got to tape it off. I'm gonna have my oily, greasy hands all over it still, so I won't clean it until it's 100% prepped for powder coating. And then, but tonight I just want to get it masked off and everything like that. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do here. Alrighty, so I'm gonna kind of blow through this process pretty quickly, because this is a pretty simple process. So right here, this is gonna be the slow part. I'm gonna fast forward this here in a minute, but what I'm doing is I'm just taking some high temp silicone tape, and then just putting a square on one of the holes, I guess, and then I use the razor blade just to kind of cut around it, just to make it more of a perfect circle. So when you go to spray it with powder, you get everything on the outside powdered, but you're not powder coating the top. It's not a really big deal. You could powder coat this. What I'm really trying to protect is I'm trying to protect from powder getting into the spark plug holes. There's no need to powder coat that. So it's either, you know, you waste more powder coating material, or you just use a little bit of high temp silicone. Also, something that's worth noting about powder coating here is all these pieces that I'm using to plug all this stuff up and everything like that, they're all some sort of high temp material that can withstand 400 plus degrees for a long period of time, which is something you'll need if you plan to do any powder coating yourself. So right here I'm just plugging up the holes, and then we'll be moving on to the next part here. I definitely didn't show it in the last clip, but yeah, just make sure you clean up your stuff. It's gonna make this tape stick a lot better. And so yeah, that's cleaning. Prep work is everything when it comes to any sort of stylizing or work in general. I guess prep work is huge. So just do the prep work and then everything will be good. But here you can see this is more of a up close process of exactly what I was doing before, but I'm able to show it better on the where the oil cap goes. And I'm just literally cutting a perfect circle here, or trying to, as perfect as it can be. And this spot's a little more tougher because there's a lot less material below it, so you kind of keep your razor blade up a little bit. If you go too deep, you're going to scratch too deep into the valve cover, and the powder coat will fill in that gap, and that's not a big deal, but you can damage, you can damage it if you go too deep. So just kind of keep it. If you nick it a little bit, it's obviously no big deal, but you just don't want to cut into it really badly. But yeah, simple process. It's just time consuming, really. This is a fun process for me, but if I didn't have my music playing while I was doing this, I'd probably Kurt Cobain myself 100%. And now the next part of this puzzle here is the doing the lettering, which was a little more difficult. Now, originally what I was going to do is I was going to powder coat this valve cover for them black, and then use the illusion cherry that I have on top of the black, but then mask off the lettering afterwards, so it'd be black. But they wanted it silver, or I guess the chrome or metal or whatever, so I was like, all right, I could do that too. I just, I got to mask it off. So I clean it up and then mask it off like I'm doing here. It's just, again, it's just a time consuming process. And I'm just showing this for anybody that kind of might be wondering how to kind of get by with masking stuff off. And being able to powder coat it, because really the material for this, it's mildly expensive. I think with the plugs, the tape, everything that I have purchased to do prep work, the pre-paint prep stuff, all cost me roughly $80 in total. I think I got most of everything off Amazon, and it's a little bit of money up front, but like if you get enough jobs and you do it, it'll pay itself off 100%. And then if you also plan to do this like as a business too, just put those costs into each of your job. You do a little shop fee, a couple dollar shop fee per job, and eventually, that's what it's for, is to get consumables and stuff like that you're going to be using. So I just finished this up here, and then I'm going to move this to powder coating. Now, I didn't film any of the powder coating just because I didn't want to spray powder. Like, I didn't want my camera this close, spraying powder and all that. But I do have some really awesome shots of the finished product I'm going to show you guys here after this. All right, here we go with the very first startup on this thing. Okay, so literally that clip, my memory card got full, and I, of course, didn't realize it till afterwards. I had some issues starting it up. Found out that I had the spark plug wires backwards, so that was a problem. I also left the fuel pump fuse unplugged when I originally did the compression test, so that was issue number 2. And then issue number 3 was I forgot to hook up the main ground for the distributor. So it took me a little while to get the car started, but she fired right up once I found all the little issues and took care of them. And here we are driving it, and I'm explaining that the temp gauge is still slightly higher. Right now it's fine. So when you're driving it, it's fine and everything like that. But at idle, it would rise a little bit, not too high. It would go right to about the symbol on the temp gauge if you let it sit in idle. Now, I have gone over this after this, making this video of what it could be, and what I've kind of found out is the original concern was the temp was getting way too hot. So here's a little context for it. So the temp was going not to the H, but it was it was pretty much up there. It was almost a quarter of the way left to the H. So that was bad, and that's how we found out the head gasket issues and everything like that, because we had low compression. So I was like, we should take care of that first, and then here we are, and we're still dealing with a small issue because everything else is good. One thing I didn't test was the sending unit for the temp sensor, and I actually just went ahead and tested that. Now, from factory, the ohms tests at operating temp should be between 49 to 32 of resistance, and when I did the test I was getting 52, so it's slightly off. So I'm thinking because it's slightly off and at idle the temp is going to read a little bit hotter to send that signal out, right? In theory. So we're gonna get another part, we're gonna just throw it in. I think that's it. If it is, it's gonna be in the description or it's gonna be a pinned comment. But she's running great. I drove this car during this video. I filmed about 10 minutes of the drive, but I did about an hour and a half drive, let alone let the car idle for about an hour in total. So the car has been running for almost 3 hours this whole time, and no issues. It never went past 180 when I took my temp gun, which I'll show you guys here after this, and I explain a little bit of that as well. I also think I explain a little bit of the issue that's going on, but anyways, this car's running great, and I'm really happy with it, and hopefully this sensor is what's causing this gauge to read inaccurately, and then hopefully that fixes the rest of the issues that they're having with the temp gauge. Alright, well, the hose is 172, the upper hose. The lower is 160, so it's not overheating. The radiator is a nice 96. Damn. So that is definitely, the fans are working. The whole cooling system is working. So there's still something else causing this little issue. Now, like I said before, we fixed the one issue where it was like rising way above that. It was definitely about another quarter above the little sailboat there. So that's good. It's not going any higher than that, which is great. But something is either still having air get into the system, or no, it's not the temp sensor. I did a resistance test on that previously and it was good. It could be the clusters. This is the only thing I didn't test because I don't know how. So I have to look that up. So I left my thing for my stand upstairs, so you guys get a selfie view. But that's gonna do it for this video. I'm gonna call them. I'm gonna let them know what's going on and see where we want to go from here. But yeah, that's just short of it. So I'm gonna give them a call real quick, let them know, and then we'll go from there. I'm just gonna do the rest off camera. If I find something worth noting, they'll be in my YouTube shorts, so follow the channel so you guys can see the shorts pop up on your feed more often, so you are basically notified when that drops. And with that, I hope you guys have a good rest of the week. I'm really excited about the powder coating, and I'm really excited to have this thing running. We just got the little stuff to figure out now. So until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye-bye.